In 2023, Roblox was taken by storm by a specific subgenre of horror game, that being the bait and switch. Popularized by games like Jim's Computer and, to some extent, Get a Snack at 4 AM, these games literally were the cream of the crop for streamers and Let's Players to jump onto. They were also the subject of many theory videos and analyses. One of the biggest, and in my opinion, best games to come from this trend was a little game known as a Stereotypical Obby, a game that seems so formulaic in its premise, but actually ends up being one of the most brilliant and compelling horror games on the site. For those who somehow missed this juggernaut of a game, or the many theory videos that myself and fellow theorist Top Hat King made on it, a Stereotypical Obby is a horror experience thinly veiled as a Roblox parkour game. The main game starts out happy and cheerful, playing like a typical Obby, but slowly as you progress through the stages, it gets more and more unstable. The player is stalked by a strange glitchy creature and begins to twitch erratically. The game distorts from an Obby game into vague symbolism, ending with the player waking up in the real world, removing a VR headset before being brutally shot and killed by an animatronic noob. The ending is probably what most people think of when they hear about this game. Months after the game released, updates to the game as well as a handful of side games released, fleshing out the lore and world building of this game. These story beats all come together to paint a picture of a person torn apart by grief, the innocent death of their child, and the dystopian mass killing of an entire town by a strange government organization. Yes, I'm serious. The story got deep, and it seemed like everything was building up to one climactic ending, which it was. After getting the Good Ending Part 1 update, where we had effectively been reminded of our past actions through the secret hidden gameplay sections, and after 2 side games, both of which detailed what went down in the real world from 2 different POVs, we all waited patiently for the finale of this story, the Good Ending Part 2. So we waited, and waited, and waited, and you know what? We're still waiting to this day. That's right, fellas. We're still here waiting about a year and a half later, and absolutely nothing has been said or posted on the matter. Okay, that's a bit disingenuous. Ignited Softworks, the developers behind ASO, haven't just been twiddling their thumbs since the last update. There's actually been 3 things that they've done between now and then. So, before we figure out what the heck happened in this game, let's go over what those 3 things were. First off, we actually had a new game release in this universe that literally no one is talking about or playing. It's called Incarcerated, and it's very different from the other parts of this series. For starters, it's not really tied to the story, just the world, as it's a 1v1 or 2v2 based FPS arena shooter themed around Empyrean and their prison complex and one of their facilities. There is not much lore to this game, it's just pretty cool and it's just another thing just set in this world. It's just a shame that this game is like 90% dead. The second thing was a birthday update to ASO, which actually added a bit of lore and context, confirming some stuff that we already had suspicions of. I'm not going to go too much into it. Top Hat King made a really good video about it, and I suggest you check it out. But basically the gist of it is, it's basically just confirmation that our son is dead, and we're kind of seeking revenge for that, or something along those lines. Just watch Top Hat King's video, it's really good. Finally, there was this weird Be the Boss game. I'm not really sure what this is, guys. Like, literally, I went in there for like 45 minutes looking for stuff that ties into the rest of the series, and while there's like some weird, interesting things in there, I pretty much learned that it's just a completely disconnected game that doesn't even have any ties to anything. Like, I don't even know what it's supposed to be. A roleplay game? Like, whatever it is, I don't really care what it is. So, yeah. We've gotten all that stuff, and meanwhile the developers have said legit nothing about the Good Ending Part 2. No teasers, no announcements, practically no transparency at all as to what's happening. Anyone who asks is simply treated like a joke and moved on from, which is definitely not a good sign. Facing the facts, it seems almost certain that this is just cancelled or dead in the water or on an indefinite hiatus. The developers don't seem passionate about expanding on its universe any further, and while it would be disingenuous to put words in their mouths and speak on their behalf, their silence speaks volumes, and every joke has an air of truth to them. Maybe I could be completely wrong here, but who knows at this point. So why would it be dead? Well, besides the typical loss of passion and loss of resources, another thing is that the game could have just fallen out of relevancy and fame, which it kind of has, and that the ending wouldn't bring much people back. If that's the case, then that's also a shame, but kind of understandable. Bait and switch horror games have kind of run their course on the Roblox platform for the time being, and it doesn't seem like they'll be making much of a return anytime soon. What's unfortunate is that ASO grew so much beyond the mere trend, into something truly spectacular, and the fact that it could be very well done for good, with no conclusive ending, is really disappointing in my opinion. But anyways, that's really all I've got for this video. If you enjoyed, please be sure to like and subscribe. Maybe share this video around. Maybe that we can guilt trip the developers into finishing it or something like that. I don't know. Who knows? But anyways, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye.
You look like Jeffrey Epstein.
Nope. Don't know that.